15, our Sweet 16 breakdown. Already had one hell of a matchup with Kansas State and Michigan State tonight, but boys, how you feeling?
After the first round, not great.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say for our teams. I wasn't sure how much we wanted to pity party this thing, but for our teams, we were not good at all. Actually, Clark made it the farthest at the round of 32.
Woohoo!
So we
pity partied on Monday. I'm over it.
I was just gonna say that.
So we got plenty of other stuff that we can talk about, and we're actually going to start with something that we're all going to love this. We're all going to love this trivia question because our team's lost. At least we've won in the past. Who is the only Power 5 school to never win a game in the NCAA tournament?
Iowa.
I have a guess after watching a highlight reel just a bit ago. I know it's incorrect, but I want to say it.
Let's hear it.
Purdue.
No, they beat Iowa State. They beat Iowa State a couple years ago, so I know that's not true.
I was watching the highlight reel, and it was like their losses, and so it started with Fairleigh Dickinson this year. Last year it was St. Peter's, but I think that was in the second round, and then the year before that was North Texas in the first round.
That was in the Sweet 16 for St. Peter's.
Was it the Sweet 16? Okay.
Yeah.
So Fairleigh Dickinson, St. Peter's, and the year before that was North Texas in the first round. So it's like, man, they've had a rough stretch getting beat by the Cinderellas.
It's because of that rough stretch in the Big Ten. They're just beat up.
They're so beat up. No injuries listed on the team at all. You got the player of the year.
It's because they're tough. They don't want you to know that they're beat up.
Yeah. It's definitely because they have no guard play. That is not the reason why.
That or the Big Ten is overrated and they're not that good.
It's because when you play in that Mickey Mouse Big Ten conference.
What is this? The West Coast Conference?
Yeah, they're just as bad as Gonzaga.
I'm surprised he's still here. Usually he leaves by now. What's happening, Joey?
Just bullying Joey about his Big Ten.
I have a hard time believing there's a Power 5 school that hasn't ever won a tournament game.
It's true, and I'm going to say it, and you're going to know it, and you're going to go, oh, yeah, of course.
I want to keep guessing. Can you give us the conference?
Big Ten.
Or does that give it away? Oh, it's a Big Ten school.
Yeah, Rutgers. I always go anti-Big Ten.
Rutgers has a good basketball history, don't they?
Yeah, Rutgers has a pretty decent. So does Maryland. Penn State's won a game. Ohio State obviously has. Michigan has.
Big Ten West.
Michigan State obviously. All right, thank you. It might be
Nebraska.
There we go. Sorry, I did not want to hear Joey list.
Nebraska's never won.
Never.
Come on, Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Fred Hoiberg has a chance to make history here for him then.
Yeah. I would say Nebraska's never won. And here's a couple, just a screenshot from ESPN. But St. John's last win, 2000. Georgia, who's just been god-awful in basketball. And I think Tom Crean was there for a little bit, 2002, and then DePaul for 2004. So
fuck yes.
That
makes me so
I had to get some Nebraska hate in here early.
St. John's about to get good.
Yeah, they got Patino.
Yeah.
So I would say and it's so funny, like watching the role of people going to these bigger jobs. Iona had Patino. He goes to St. John's. And then Fairleigh Dickinson wins one game in the tournament. Their coach goes to Iona. It just like everyone's slowly progressing up because of one freaking game.
Well, it's just like St. Peter's last year, their coach.
Yep.
I mean, as soon as the buzzer ended or the whistle went off on that last game of theirs, he was gone.
Yep. Everyone immediately goes, hey, he played at St. Paul because they're looking at their history. At Seton Hall. And then Seton Hall sucks ass. So it was just like, well, this makes sense. Just bring him right up.
Hell yes. So. I'm tweeting the fuck out of this right now. I did not know this. This makes me so happy.
I'm just curious that I don't get fined.
I'll be honest. I thought when I said what Power 5 team, that would have been like immediately, Joey, maybe you're just not as much of a hater as I thought you were because I know
it's because you assholes instantly hate on the Big Ten So why would you try and make me feel good by giving me a Nebraska trivia? That's what I don't.
So if we can make you feel good and still hate on the Big Ten, that's like killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
That is true.
So.
That is true.
He is two small birds, one large stone. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
we want to hate on the Big Ten, but keep our friend happy.
Well, and speaking of our bragging rights for our schools, none of us had the largest conference in the Sweet 16 represented. SEC had 3, Big East had 3, Big 12 did have 2 teams, so we at least had some representation. Especially Kansas State was really starting to pick up steam at the end there too. But American, ACC, Mountain West, Ivy, Conference USA, Big 10, West Coast Conference, Pac-12 all had one team as well. So it's crazy how, everyone, where we've been saying all year, Big 12 all the way, 7 teams in the, Sweet 16. And then, we still got 2, but it's crazy how diverse the Sweet 16 has been.
Yep. Did you see that the Mississippi River perfectly divided the teams? 8 teams west, 8 teams east of the Mississippi River.
Oh, really?
In the Sweet 16. Yep.
God works in mysterious ways there, Trent.
Yep.
This is one of my favorite reasons for the NCAA tournament. We get obscure stats and obscure things like that. It's great. It's a statistician's like wet dream. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Just do not move your camera down at all, Joey, because of the way you're getting excited talking about this, we do not need to start an OnlyFans or get this video flagged.
I did take all the way through Stats 3 in college, and it was amazing. And that makes me super happy with this.
When you said I did take and pause, I thought you were going to say a little blue pill before the pod or something.
Oh.
Joey, the way he's talking about stats right now, I bet you he was crying at how beautiful Moneyball was. The statistical analysis.
I've
oh my god!
Never actually seen it. Never seen it. I need to though.
The fucking one sports movie about how statistically this team is going to be better with the least amount of money, and you don't watch it. Jeez,
I'm not a big. Is it Costner that's in that? Kevin Costner?
It's Jonah Hill.
Brad Pitt and
Jonah Hill.
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
I knew those two were in it.
Chris Pratt, he's in it.
Okay, well, shit. I need it. Why was I thinking Kevin Costner was in it?
You're thinking of Draft Day with the Browns.
Yes, there it is. That's the movie I didn't want to see. But Moneyball's about baseball and the Oakland Athletics. Who gives a flying fuck? If it's not the WBC, I don't watch baseball.
The WBC. We all kept up with it, right?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
I saw on Twitter that Japan won. That's what I know.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ohtani struck out Trout. Imagine if they were on the same team, how good that team would be.
2 in the game. Now, just think, those guys are on the same team in the MLB, and that team is garbage.
That's straight up Dookie.
Thanks for explaining my joke, Trent. I love it.
Yep. Gotcha.
You know who had the most players in that?
Phillies.
Joey was wearing their shirt last pod.
Oh yeah, St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, the Cards.
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks.
So if we had all those Cardinals,
that was baseball talk,
right? What'd you say, Brian?
I said if it was filled with Cardinals, that means we won then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. We're all winning.
Yeah. Opening days in 1 week. So starting after college basketball is done, we will start our MLB pod, right, guys?
Yeah. Pitchers and catchers, they reported. They were there. They brought their baseball mitts and everything.
Well, a long time ago, considering opening days in a week.
Yeah, but
I hope the other position players are there by now.
They said, "Pod, you want to have another catch?" So, Joey, I'm not potting baseball. Yes, you will, and you're gonna like it. Damn it.
Yep.
No.
All right. Let's get back to some actual college basketball. That's actually interesting. Who is doing the best in our bracket pool that actually follows the pod? Because we were trying to discuss it beforehand, but I think Joey, you have the most points right now, but you have the least possible points as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you did really well, except for who'd you have in your finals? You had Arizona. Is the winner.
Yeah,
I know.
I still have a Final Four team though. I still have Miami. So
Miami, the U, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say so. Joey, I think. Let me see here.
TJ would probably be the only one I know. Sleepy Time TJ.
Yeah, Sleepy Time
He's
TJ
sitting
in
in
here.
third. That's about it. I don't know anyone else. Seriously though, if you are listening to the podcast and you are in our tournament, please let us know who you are, because we're going to weed out whoever doesn't reach out to us and not pay you, because we're not letting randos win this. We want our avid listeners to actually win this shit. So
yeah.
How the hell did
if you're in
these
the top 5, let us know.
How the hell did these people get in?
Because we're 30 and we don't know technology, Trent. We thought we password locked it. We clearly didn't.
But the people that asked me had to have the password to get in.
See, I don't know.
Maybe Trent knows all these people and we just don't know them.
Yeah.
That must be Ryan. He's the only one here that can't speak to it.
Who gives a shit? We're just gonna pay probably one of our buddies that scored the highest then. Or me,
that's
because
exactly
I'm
what we're
gonna
gonna
win the
do.
whole fucking thing.
Yeah, just like Football Expert 69. Fuck that guy, whoever the fuck that was.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
If you are Football Expert 69, speak up now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, we're done with you.
He should be watching that. That was Ryan.
Yeah. Oh shit! Damn it!
You guys didn't know that?
Yes, we knew that.
Okay.
No, I did. That's why I said it.
I thought you didn't. I was like, that was Ryan.
Guys,
we should have went with that bit the whole time. That's what we need to do. Just do bits on each other the whole time.
I'm down for that. Well, let's actually get into some real. I don't want to do a hey, how's your bracket looking? They all suck. No one saw the 16, the 15 having upsets and shit like that. But to talk about actual college basketball, Armando, I'm gonna say, is it Bacon for North Carolina? He's coming back for another year. Mm-hmm. Apparently, that not making the tournament left a sour taste in his mouth. Do you think they make it next year with Hubert and now Baycott coming back?
They got to replace that Grady Manic factor. That's my stance.
I mean, they couldn't make it this year.
Well, and that's what I kind of worry. You want to know how bad it is on how many times this guy has been coming back to the tournament? Perry Ellis is telling him he needs to leave school because he's getting too old. And Perry Ellis was 87 when he left Kansas.
You know, I saw Perry Ellis like a couple years ago at a basketball court facility in Wichita.
Oh, yeah?
Looked just like did when he was on the court.
Looks older in real life, huh?
Was he driving a Buick, and was he like one of those you could barely see over the wheel or the steering wheel?
I did not spot a hover round, and I don't think he's ever had that issue seeing over the steering wheel.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say. I think he did he have like a just a tube of Bengay? I'm trying to think of all old people stipulations that he had, but no, for sure.
He had a pocket full of Werther's Original.
The young hooligans at the courts, they were stealing the tennis balls off of his walker. So
he was talking about the days before sliced bread.
Him and Sister Jean.
Him and Sister Jean, they dated at one point.
He's got a whole closet of New Balance 626s.
Fuck yeah.
Shoes.
Man's actually got a little style then with the New Balances.
The 626s are not stylish.
No, I can't remember which ones are. I'm not a sneakerhead or a soul brother. I don't know what you call shoe experts.
No idea, but moving on.
Either one of those.
Me neither.
Big 12. They're going to get into the New York City market. They have a new program. I mean, I don't know if the Big Ten has had this all the time, Joey, with Kevin Warren or your new commissioner. I can't remember his name, but this Brett Yormark in his first year, he's just done so many things. It's like he's created a program where next year they're going to just have an all-conference pro day. Hey, all these teams, instead of going to 12 different schools, you're just going to go to one central location, Jerry World, surprise. And then not only it's setting up for a pro day and these kids go pro in football, but then it's setting up like a job fair and getting them set up for the professional world after that. This project.
So why is it in Jerry World?
What's that?
Why is it in Jerry World?
I don't know. It's in Texas. That's in the middle of our conference, I guess. I think it's Jerry World or the campus or something, but
okay.
But they're going to have that for football. For basketball, they're going to New York City for Rucker Park, which there had been some rumors coming around that, not only we were adding just basketball only schools, but it seems like we're really trying to push into the New York market with like rumors of St. John's and Georgetown and like just schools, smaller schools in that area to just come in as basketball only schools. I mean, for me, it's refreshing to see a commissioner actually give a shit and try and grow the brand.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, I don't know. The old Commissioner Bowlesby, he didn't seem to do shit. It's where you think like in a year how much they've done for this. Going, what the fuck was he just twiddling his thumbs for fucking years, not doing anything when in 1 year we make this many changes?
Well, I think if you want to better the conference, you have to do something different. And Bowlesby sat there for how many years being the commissioner and had done it forever. And now Yormark, he's a new guy, new blood, brings in new ideas, and I think it's only good for the conference.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree with Trent. I think that this was a thing that Bowlesby just lived and died off of what Texas and Oklahoma did. Now they're leaving. Yormark has to do something in order to keep this conference alive, and he's doing every fucking thing he can. These are great ideas. The reason I asked why it was in Jerry's World and not like, I don't know, at the Chiefs Stadium or something like that, that'd be something sweet to do. Get Mahomes and shit involved, shit like that. That'd be fun. I get why it's in Texas. That's I understand that. But stuff like this is awesome. That's great.
You know what the stupid thing is? I bet you, sadly, a lot of it, not only just it's in the middle of the Big 12 conference, but it's kind of one of those super easy to travel to, and I don't know. Again, Rucker Park, this is where it's like a lot of people call it the Mecca of basketball. So I don't know, getting Big 12 coaches in there, not only for Jerry's World, we're also signed a deal with it's not sports business, but it's basically like using our data from the Big 12 in order to market it, like to even get out to like more like sports gambling and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. Like without having Oklahoma and Texas tying us down here, it's just been really nice seeing some of these ideas that have sprung from it, because you can't worry about, well, what if this dips into Texas's pocket a little bit? They're going to be worried so much about, decisions that are made, and now the SEC can deal with them. The SEC's got enough, big bodies that can push them around. We can finally do our own thing in our own conference.
Exactly. And it also doesn't make it so you have to worry about those guys, saying yes or no because it hurts them. You guys can fucking do whatever you want. And growing it outside of that looks amazing to, say the Colorados of the world or the Arizona States and the Arizonas of the world. That looks cool as shit. You can grow outside of your brand that you're at now. Good for you guys.
Trent says the Colorados of this world are dead to the Big 12.
Yeah, just stay in the Pac-12.
Yeah, go die in the Pac-12, assholes.
Yeah, Rucker Park, is that where Jamal Tinsley came from? I think he was recruited from playing street ball in Rucker Park. Like he really didn't play organized high school basketball. I
think so. Honestly, I know Dustin Hogue back in the day was from New York City. I mean, and with that Kansas State game, there's a couple New York City kids that are playing on that team as well. So I don't know, man. It just, like I said, it's one of those things that's kind of nice, showing that we're trying to get out east. And as much as we've talked about expansion with the Pac-12, I personally think that he's going to try and get it like to the corner schools like Arizona and Colorado, just to keep expanding into different territories. And then I think he's going to wait for the ACC or the Big East and try and poach a couple like from that area to not only just have travel partners with West Virginia, but kind of branches out into across the whole country.
I agree. I think that's good for you guys. That Rucker Park thing, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Does he plan on making a summer league thing out of it, or is it just going to be a pro day thing? Do you know?
No. So it sounds like it's just going to be coaches going in. And they're going to be doing youth clinics. So you'd have a TJ Otzelberger going out there and helping the community out. I am sure there is going to be student athletes, and somehow they're going to be incorporated in as well. But it's kind of to give back and get exposure into New York City.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. That'd be cool too if they could incorporate the people that are from New York that are in your conference and like maybe give them some extra NIL money, but they could also do like spots at their own schools and stuff. Here I am marketing for the Big 12. I don't give a fuck about you guys.
There we go.
Other than just keep it competitive in wrestling.
And you guys already have a New York market in Rutgers.
Yeah. You got that New York market years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So
Ray Rice is a great advocate.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, for an advocate of women's rights and lefts. What advocate is it? Jesus. So I would say we talked a little bit about Fairleigh Dickinson beating Purdue on Monday's pod here. There's been
fair dickin,
giving them a fair dickin. There, like we talked about how it was if it was going to be if it was the biggest upset in the tournament history or whatever. Just using analytics, they said if Fairleigh Dickinson would have played UMBC from 2018, they would have been a 7-point underdog to that team.
Yep.
Like that just shows you how
analytically.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Brian.
I would say that just shows you how bad of an upset it was. Where a 16 versus 16, it's not a pick 'em. It's a significant 3-possession game.
And
I heard on the Le Batard show the other day that. Go ahead.
I was going to say they were in their round of 32 game until about the final minute as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I heard on Le Batard show the other day, analytically, they are the worst team to ever make the tournament. Like literally the worst team.
So yeah, they got in on a technicality. What was that deal?
Mm-hmm. Because the conference champ was suspended from postseason play. But I guess in basketball, postseason play means you can still play in your conference tournament.
So
I don't know.
Who was the conference champ and why were they
Merrimack.
And why were they suspended? Like
I thought
giving players big money to come play there before NIL. I don't see that.
So they're suspended because they came up to the Division 1. So like when you go from Division 2 to Division 1, you have like a postseason. Same thing with James Madison this year. Is even though they had a winning record,
how idiotic is that?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Exactly.
Right. If you're going up.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, if you're good enough to leave Division 2 and come to Division 1 and make the tournament your first year, good for you. Like you shouldn't be punished for that.
Right.
Wow.
It makes absolutely no sense. I would say after this year, I wouldn't be shocked if they really get into those rules and try and change that, because now we've had significant. Not only we've had significant teams, now winning the tournament and bringing attention to it. As bad as it sounds, they're both on the East Coast. I think that's going to catch more attention than if just Iowa Wesleyan somehow got to Division 1. If they were to make a change, wouldn't catch any eyes. But with the other two being on the East Coast, I think it's going to catch more attention.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Speaking of being in that other game, FAU, it was kind of a douchey move. They were up by 8. They were winning the game. They let them dribble it out, and then the guy not only tries to dunk it, poor sportsmanship, but he misses the fucking dunk. It makes him look like an idiot. Does that put a little damper on you wanting to cheer for a 9 seed trying to make more upsets?
They, Twitter exploded during that, and most of the tweets were like, FAU just became the villain of this tournament.
Yeah. It is so funny in this tournament how immediately, hey, darling, it's a 9 seed still. Fuck these, immediately we can just turn against them.
Yep.
Also, I lost a bet against them, so I was really already against them as is. And now it's one of those, like, have you ever hated someone and everyone else just seems to like him, and you're like, why do you like him? I hate him, and for these justified reasons. And then something comes out about him, and you go, see, I told you he's been bad this whole time. You wouldn't listen to me. That's what I felt like with FAU. I go, they beat me in a bet, and I'm pissed about it. And then they do a bad dunk. I go, see, I told you they're bad people. I lost a bet, and they missed the dunk.
Tim Tebow.
What did he do?
What's he do that's bad?
He sucks at quarterback. Everyone thought he was like, he's a winner. He's going to go in the NFL and win.
Yeah.
Well, he did.
It's the only people that thought that were the Broncos front office.
Yeah.
for
And
drafting
every
him.
boomer white guy in the world
Urban Meyer?
also thought that he was going to be
Yes.
amazing.
And look
Yeah.
at his judge of character.
Wait, wasn't
Exactly.
Urban Meyer the
This is
one
what
who
we're
brought
doing.
him into camp last year to play tight end as well?
Mhm.
Was that Urban Meyer?
Yes,
And then,
it was.
oh,
in
and then touched his
Jacksonville.
butthole.
Year
That's
before
a-
last.
That's
I
an
forgot
interesting
about that.
question that you bring up there, Joey, because I mean, honestly, everyone thought he was going to win because he had just been, there's certain people that are just winners in life. Literally, he was a good quarterback in high school. He was a historic quarterback in college. What is the sport or position or, someone with can make any difference in a sport? Who is the one person where you just being a winner could elevate your team? Like the one that I think is Deion Sanders coaching at a historic black college level. I don't know if it will translate to Colorado just yet, but him just being a winner, I think immediately brought up everyone's going, I want to play for him. He fucking has won at every level he's been at. I mean, is there a equivalent to a Tim Tebow raising Florida up or anything like that?
I got two, and they're both in wrestling: Dan Gable and Cale Sanderson.
Yep.
Like
So
if
and
you
they
go
both
wrestle
elevated
for
their
them,
teams.
yes, and if you go wrestle for them as coach, this wasn't so much as them being wrestlers, but when they were coaches.
Okay, so when they're
if
coach,
you
okay.
go for them, yeah, that type of thing. But yeah, otherwise. Everyone thinks that about Aaron Rodgers right now. I mean, they think the Jets are going to win the fucking Super Bowl now because he's going to sign there, and Green Bay has always competed with him. I don't know.
Mhm.
You could really say that about Mahomes.
That's the one I was going to say. I
Mhm.
mean, you look at the Chiefs roster and you look at the results you have with that team whenever you plug in Mahomes.
Yeah.
He's a winner. Like he goes out
Yep.
and he's just going to give everything he has to win.
Wait.
Like
I think that's also Andy Reid, though. I think it's more the coach has to be a winner in life, and he can elevate. I mean,
okay,
the immediate argument for Mahomes I'm going to make is Texas Tech. Look what he didn't make them a national title contender. And
maybe
then
Cliff
dropped
Kingsbury
off.
is just that big of a liability.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of like one. If someone thinks of a athlete that has, them just being a winner has elevated the rest of their team, let us know. But I think you have to be at least a coach level for that, like winning to like Reagan trickle down economics, trickle down winnerism. Deion Sanders had it. Andy Reid has it. I think you just have to be at a coaching level.
I got a couple, and this is all going to be women's sports, especially women's basketball. Candace Parker, Maya Moore, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, anyone from UConn, basically. In basketball, especially LeBron, basketball especially, you can have one person be very fucking good and still win championships and get to the finals or whatever. I think that's a place where it's more prevalent, I would think. Jordan,
I feel like you're mistaken because with LeBron, he always had to have superstar teammates to make that happen.
He had to have 4 other really good people on his team.
Dude made the finals in Cleveland before he left to go to Miami with whoever
Verjao.
Say his name.
I know
Verjao.
Thank you.
God, I saw the name. I just couldn't remember how to pronounce it. No,
Travis,
he took a bunch
not
of
Tom
fucking
Brady.
nobodies.
Tom Brady sucks. Tom Brady won because of Bill Belichick and Bruce Arians. Travis.
No, but again, that you have to be the absolute GOAT, best quarterback ever in order to lift a team like that. Because to your point, Joey, you have 21 other people that you have to lift up around you that can fuck up and screw. Basketball, you're 20% of that team. So LeBron being a top tier athlete, and then pairing him with Anthony Davis. Okay, now you have 2 winners. All right, you can just put 3 nobodies around it, and you're gonna lift up the rest.
It's definitely more noticeable the lower skill you go. Like in the NFL, that winner, like it takes more. But you drop down to college, and all of a sudden, Tim Tebow, is elevating this 14. Granted, he also had some incredible talent around him on that team, but still.
See, no, that's what I was thinking with the whole
maybe
Deion
with Urban
Sanders
Meyer elevating them. Holy crap! Oh,
I don't think so. See, that's what I was thinking about the whole Deion Sanders thing with,
I
he
love
went
you,
to
Clark.
this small school and, made them good, but he could get talented players to come there that were that much better than the other people in that division. Now he's in Power 5, all the other good players are also playing Power 5.
Yeah, where I don't think the star power and even these kids, I doubt they're just jaw slack because they see an all-star in front of them. But I guarantee that carries quite a bit of weight at that level. It'll be interesting as much as you hate him, Trent, if he can keep producing at Colorado.
No, I don't say I'm a hate him. I just don't think that. I don't know. I don't see it working in the Power 5.
Yeah,
Like, better be a good coach too.
Man, I really fucking hope so. And I think a lot of it has to do with, like you touched on, his recruiting. And I think he's going to be able to recruit Power 5, like top 10 players. And I call me super optimistic, but I could see him getting like top 5 recruiting classes for the next 5 years just because of the hype around him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, the good news or bad news, depending on which way you're looking at it, is Jimbo Fisher proved that you can get top 5 recruiting classes and still fuck it up pretty bad. So,
And you can still win a national championship and go off that for the next 10 years of your life. I mean,
yep.
And to be honest with you, until Nick Saban leaves, and I don't know how none of us brought that name up, but until Nick Saban leaves, until Nick Saban leaves college football, like, there's a lot of really good coaches that aren't going to win national championships. I know they didn't win the national championship last year, but they made a case to be in it, and they can.
Nick Saban's done. It's all about Kirby Smart now, Joey.
I hope so. God damn it, I fucking hope so.
I didn't say Nick Saban only because I remember what he did at Miami Dolphins. That's why.
Yeah.
Just being absolute
That's
garbage.
partially on Miami Dolphins being a piece of shit franchise too. So
they're the Raiders of the AFC East. So they used to be good back in the day, and now not so much.
I would say they're the Falcons of the AFC. The Raiders just have always been decent and then just been terrible now. The Miami Dolphins, you can do every single year. Oh, they're going to Dolphin this. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. They're going to make the Super Bowl, and they're going to fucking lose it. Same thing with the Falcons. It always happens.
Joey, I know you were on the Wednesday pod. There's a reason why we always said the Raiders going to Raider.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Raiders are going to they couldn't even keep their franchise quarterback. I mean,
they've won Super Bowls though, and I mean they've been to the promised land before. They are a traditionally good team. Where the Dolphins
on the shoulders of John Madden.
That's true. That is very true. 100% agree.
Another winner. Another winner.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is Miami and Atlanta are in different categories than, the Los Angeles Raiders at the time. They're not in the same category anymore.
So, speaking of the Raiders, that's probably going to be as good of a transition as I'm going to have here. So, the Raiders used to be back in the day, before this last 2 decades, they were a bit of a blue blood of the NFL. They had 3 titles. They are one of the better teams from the past here. Everyone has been touting up, this is the big year. We have no blue bloods in the Sweet 16. There's no North Carolina. There's no Duke. There's no, no Kentucky, no Kansas this year. Finally, no blue bloods. Is UCLA not a blue blood? I mean,
UCLA and Michigan State both are blue bloods.
Those are the 2 that I had written down immediately. We all agree they're both blue bloods, right?
UCLA is definitely a blue blood.
Michigan State.
I don't know about Michigan State.
Title, at least only has 1 title.
Right.
If you get knocked out of the Sweet 16 by Kansas State, does that lose your blue blood status? Sorry, Michigan State.
No, he's been to so many Final Fours and stuff. And you can say that's only because of Izzo.
I thought you had to have blue on your jersey to be a blue blood.
You thought it was an actual color?
I mean, come on. North Carolina, blue. Kansas, blue. Duke, blue. Kentucky, blue. UCLA, blue. Villanova, blue.
Michigan State, not so much.
Wait,
green.
All right. Hold on. Are you counting Villanova as a blue blood?
I had him there, and then their coach left. I don't know. So, they were always good with him.
just a little history lesson, because while we're saying a lot of stupid shit, you're going to learn something here. Blue blood originated from Spain. It was used to differentiate between people of lighter skin tones and darker complexions. That's where blue blood came from.
So you could see
I don't
their
know how
veins
that
and you
translates to
couldn't see their
basketball, but I
veins.
just looked it up.
So if they're pale enough to
yeah.
stay in the castle all day, you could see their veins, so they're blue blood.
They're
I
like
thought those were
makes complete
vampires. Oh man.
Well, blue bloods and fat people. That's what you get out of the Renaissance era.
yeah, blue blood. Yeah, the blue bloods. I can tell you. Speaking of that, seeing veins.
I really don't know how you don't have UCLA listed as a blue blood. That's what I don't understand.
Right.
Well, no, I do. I consider them.
Yeah.
Everyone else was like, they're like, Villanova's not in it. Like, they're listing all these teams. Like, how is UCLA? I know they haven't won since Wooden, but how would that not be like, you look at it and go, oh, yeah, there it is. The other two I had questions for, like, blue blood. Gonzaga, are they not a blue blood with the dominance they've had the last 25 years? I know it's a lesser conference, but they win 25 plus games a year every single year. They do what they're supposed to.
Championships, though. I think that's
What's
where
your other
I think
one?
that's the big thing.
Right.
One, I would agree with you, Clark. I think when they win one championship, I think you can start having the blue blood conversation. UConn was the other one I had.
Yep. Blue on the
That's a good
jersey.
I can get behind UConn. Yeah, blue on the jersey. They're in.
That's why I thought Gonzaga, they're blue and red, so I thought that was going to elevate them a little bit.
I got
Yeah,
one.
but-
I got one that we may not think of. But lately, since you brought up Gonzaga, Florida.
Mhm. Florida?
I mean,
They
they
won,
won
like,
back to back 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They got blue
I
on their
agree.
jersey. Put them in.
I just think because they've had such a steep drop off, I was actually talking with a coworker about that. It's how did Florida be within relevant, when we were in high school, within relevant history, they won back-to-back titles, not only in basketball, but football. And you've allowed yourself to drop to not even making the tournament.
Have you looked at the roster of those back-to-back national championship teams with Joe Kimino on them?
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Insane.
No,
Corey
I'd say-
Brewer was their best player and
Jesus,
didn't get near enough national attention.
And they have Al Horford,
Yeah. And Joe
Kim
Kidd.
Noah. Yeah,
Because
those
he-
rosters were nuts.
Because he didn't look like a stoner. He didn't have a quirky little attribute that was also on top of being good at basketball,
And then what about Memphis? I mean, you have Derrick Rose is at Memphis, right? Yeah. You have those
Derrick Rose
teams
was
that
Memphis
Cal
one
was
year.
at. Yeah.
I'm
Well,
trying.
they could have been a
say,
blue
who-
blood, but they lost to Kansas. So
But they have blue on their jerseys.
They do have blue on their
Right.
jerseys.
The only other blue blood.
I guess.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
I would say the only other blue blood that I consider right now that we haven't named is Indiana, just because of historic success, and they're
Mhm.
continue to be relevant. But they
Mhm.
they haven't had a title in a while. I mean, but they have that perfect season. I think that elevates them above. That's where we got our Steve Alford from. So I mean that's blue blood enough.
Now he's at Nevada.
Yeah, now he's at Nevada, not winning a tournament game. So who would be who is on the verge, or who is the next blue blood team? Consistent winner. We've already said Gonzaga, so that's probably the easy answer. But
I mean, Miami's made 2 Sweet 16s in a row. I know I'm a U fan. I'm not trying to be biased, but I mean, they've made 2 Sweet 16s in a row. Made the tournament the 3 years before that.
Mhm.
What is your cutoff for blue bloods? I guess that's the better
whatever-
question.
whatever argument you can make for why they should be a blue blood, that's the. I mean, Louisville, are they a blue blood? They could be. I would feel.
Iowa had 2 Player of the Years in a row. I mean, you could say they are. So there's that.
I feel like it's a perennial contender.
Joey trailed off so badly with 2 national players of the year. And then oh man! Again, if Iowa were to make a Final Four run, then you would start having relevant, like yearly relevance. But Fran's got to do it sometime, dude. I don't know.
23 years without making the round of 32.
I mean, how do you not just stumble into a Sweet 16 at that point, man? So I don't know.
I don't know. How does the Iowa football offense not stumble into the end zone every once in a while? Who the fuck knows?
You know, so some things are just going to happen that way. You know.
Yeah.
Detroit Mercer's Anton Davis said he felt cheated because his team didn't get invited to the college the CBI. I think it's called just Basketball Invitational. Said he felt cheated because they didn't give him a chance to beat Pistol Pete's record. And he thinks he should have been given a chance. In case you weren't aware, their team went 14-19 this year. Do you think they should have been awarded a chance to be in this? Because again, CBI, I don't even know if it's televised. It might just be streamed only, to be honest. But do you think it's fair that he didn't give a chance to break the record, or do you think it was fair?
What were the records of some of the other teams in it?
Like 22-12. I think the lowest win total I saw was 20 when I was looking at the teams.
And they're 14-19, and you expect to be in this? Come on.
Correct. They I see. I'm kind of in agreement with, or I agree with that. If you can't even get to, you're not even close to 500. I mean, you're multiple games back, and the reason that you want to make the tournament is just to break a record that's 40 years old. And honestly, you add on top of there's a 3-point line now, and he's played for 5 years when Pistol Pete, played for 3. Just be gracious and take a second place, in my opinion. I know that's not what competitors do, but man, it was just a bad look to I got cheated. We got cheated out of this. If you got cheated out of it, win more fucking games, I guess.
It might just be a way for him to kind of call some attention to himself to maybe give him a chance at next level as well.
True.
Any publicity is good publicity. So
yeah, well, I'm gonna assume if his team went 14-19, something happened. He might have just been all scoring and no defense.
Which that happens. Look at Steph Curry with Davidson, but they still made the tournament. So that's you can score all the fucking points you want.
Yeah, I don't think that team was 14-19.
No, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. You can score all the fucking points you want, but if you're not making the tournament, that says something else,
Yeah. See, that's where I don't know, man. I just don't ever if they were let's be honest, if they were just 15-15, they're exactly 500. Maybe you have a little bit of a chance to, but they didn't have any resume, man. You look at these other schools, and they're smaller. It's like Utah. I think it was Utah Valley and stuff, and Western Kentucky, all these directional schools. But it's but they won at their level. I just think it's a bad look, man.
I agree. It's almost Lamar Jackson-ish of trying to, create your own stats, create your own narrative on a team that wasn't very good, type of thing.
Yeah, but look at how good I was, though. I deserved it. Well, did you lift your teammates up? So.
Yep, I agree.
I don't know. That one I thought was a little funny because it's just man, you had 5 years to break the record. I mean, if you didn't break it at that point, I don't think you deserve the 6th year either. I mean, Jesus.
Wait, he was on his 5th year of eligibility too?
Yep, with COVID and stuff.
Fuck. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
To me, that record shouldn't stand. And I said the same thing about anyone that was taking a 5th year for wrestling and getting 5 championships. And Jacob Warner is a 5-time wrestling All-American. I'm not trying to jump into wrestling early or anything, but 5-time All-American, you're the only one in history to do that. That's cool as shit. But there was a lot of other circumstances around that. That shouldn't be an asterisk like baseball home runs and shit, but it should be noted at least. I guess that's an asterisk. I don't know. But
I want to see the first 8-time All-American that gets his doctorate his senior year and wins a national title. Write that down. We're going to trademark that for a movie.
Yep.
We'll have Spencer Lee star in it.
So as soon as Aaron Pico decides not to do Bellator anymore and comes back and starts wrestling instead of doing MMA, yeah, he could probably win 4 titles.
Oh yeah. Well, there we go. What are we podcasting for when we're making brilliant movie ideas like this? We got to think of a very clever name for it though. So
Write it down. Let's get it to Scorsese.
Well, I was about to say Doc Ock for like 8 Ock, but that's the Spider-Man villain, so that's already out. So, but well, while we're trying to figure out what our wrestling movie is going to be called, let's talk a little women's Sweet 16 quickly, and it'll be quick because again, none of our teams except for Joey's made it in there. Joey, I mean, let's just keep it simple. Is Caitlyn Clark going to lead the Hawkeyes to a Final Four?
Yes, and she should. I mean, she has an easy path now. The Stanford got beat. Indiana's out.
Yep.
I mean, there's no reason why she shouldn't. And to go back into what we were talking about on the group text, I do think that they get beat by South Carolina. I think South Carolina is the best team in the nation. But the Caitlyn Clark factor, man, she's so fucking good. I mean, she beat Indiana 3 times, I think. They're very fucking dangerous, and she's so good. So, and her teammates are good as well. So, give me the Hawks all the way to the Final Four, and I think they get beat by South Carolina.
And this is when they lose to Colorado.
They better not.
The Joey curse.
Joey seriously might go into depression if they don't make the Final Four, though. As little as we don't watch any women's basketball, that's one of those things where my team didn't make it. I hate this now, and it just puts you in a bad mood.
It'll just make me stop watching basketball altogether forever. It doesn't matter. Oh yeah, by the way, Bryant is sipping on wine tonight since we didn't go around and say what we were drinking.
Oh,
How is your wine? Since I don't mean to be doing this during women's sports. I'm not trying to,
Not trying to change the subject, are we,
there's
Joey?
no correlation, Joey.
It's a new segment called Women
There
and Wine.
wasn't.
Women and Whining. We're going to bitch about our women's sports, and we're going to be drinking wine when we do it.
Pardon My Take has guys on chicks, and we're doing women whining.
Yeah, Women and Whining. It is a California white wine. Now, I know what you're saying is, shouldn't that have a certain Sauvignon Blanc or anything else? Probably, but it was from Sam's Club, and it was 6 bottles for $30. So I don't think they even go through. They barely put labels on this stuff. So I don't know. It tastes like wine. It's pretty good. But always remember, Pinky's out. You gotta look for if it's got any legs, if it's running some tears, So, and speaking of which,
so did you describe
women's basketball? They're going to be running around, and if they lose, they're going to have tears streaming down like white wine.
Do they have legs? Do they have tears? I think you just described women.
I know. I know what you're saying. Are you talking about what the fuck are the Miami Twins? Names Joey. The last
Cavenders.
Yes. Twins. I'm sorry that I would say, but I'll be honest. I'm paying attention.
We just got super misogynistic, and I'm sorry about that. That's on me. Yeah. My bad.
Joey immediately transitioned into this, so this is 100% his fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of, to bring women's basketball in it, can you name real quick without looking at the agenda? Look away from it quick. Who are the 4 teams that have men's and women's in the Sweet 16?
Kansas,
Miami.
Kansas State.
No, neither.
What?
Miami, Kansas State. No, they have to have both men's and women's.
Yeah, Kansas State.
Tennessee.
No.
UConn. You sure about that? Kansas State women? Aren't they in there still?
It's not from the data I had. I guess you double check that. And say it's going to be we have Miami. There's an SEC school, a Pac-12 school, and a Big East school.
Yeah. Like I said, Miami, UConn, Tennessee,
UCLA.
UCLA. There we go. That was the final one.
Okay.
Sorry, Trent threw me off. I think he said Kansas as well. I was like, no, and he kept saying Kansas State. So if they are, let me know. Whatever. I guess I don't know my women's basketball. Take my badge away from me if they weren't. But yeah, I don't know.
Right, you are not a feminist.
Not a feminist because I don't watch women's basketball. Well,
that's right.
Take me to jail. Well, the one last thing that I had on here before Joey's breakdown wrestling here, and kind of relates to college basketball, men's basketball quickly. Nick Saban suspended that kid for speeding 141 miles per hour. Had a loaded handgun in his car down in Alabama here. Sadly, we have to applaud it because he's the one coach at that school that takes punishment seriously. He brought up specifically in his press conference that there's never a wrong place at the wrong time, and these young men make their own decisions and know what they're doing here. How would you feel if that happened at your school, where one head coach took a direct shot at another head coach and kind of undermining him, really?
I like it.
I'm with the guy whose decision I like, Nick Saban. I'm on both.
He's been growing on me, man.
We talk a lot of shit about Nick Saban, just mostly out of jealousy. Not just us, but like as a sports media community.
Yep.
Talk a lot of shit, mostly out of jealousy. And this was the right move. Like this was great. I'm so glad he called out Nate Oates because what they did was bullshit, and it's still bullshit. So yeah, let Nick Saban. I'm glad that he like pulled his dick out and was like, I still run Tuscaloosa. This is what should happen.
Now, a couple things. I think we all agree. It's nice to see that he's holding them accountable. And it was kind of nice taking that shot because no one else was. I don't know. Everyone can ask questions, but they're just, you know what I'm saying? It's like they didn't want to acknowledge it. Did Saban have to overcompensate here because of the lack of punishment by Oates' side? Do you think this would have turned into something potentially lesser had Nate Oates actually punished Brandon Miller, or do you think he would have always done this?
Yeah, exactly. Like if Nate Oates would have punished him, like the dude's not on the team anymore. Like Nick Saban probably just punishes this guy and doesn't say a word.
See, I'm kind of thinking that. I know some people are like, no, he would have done the same way. I think he had to overcompensate. I think he had to make an example out of this and get control over his players and go, we're not going to fuck around with this. But I think it was also like he got caught. He just saw what Nate Oates has gone through for the last 2 months. Every post under Alabama basketball score is he helped murder a woman. Like that is the whole that's the whole online presence of it. I think he saw that and it needed to make an example out of this one kid compared to taking care of it in-house.
My question here though is like, was this kid expendable, whereas Brandon Miller is not expendable to the basketball team?
He was a freshman. He was a 4-star. So I mean, I think he was valuable.
Sounds to me like a practice squad in Alabama.
I think another thing that kind of helps as well, and again, all of it's severe, but I mean, think you suspend one basketball player. It's 1 out of 12. I mean, that's like almost 10% of your roster. I mean, it's 8%. You suspend one of your 90 football players. I mean, you got fucking 6 more behind him that can play, you know?
And it's Alabama.
Yeah, but he's also,
I mean, Alabama football.
Yeah.
They got another good guy waiting.
Yeah. He's also setting a precedent for his team. So, and as we know with college sports and any college kids, they intermingle. So this is kind of putting pressure on the basketball program to say if anyone else fucks up, you need to hold them accountable because I'm going to on the football team, regardless of their practice squad or not. I think if it was a bigger name person in Alabama, I think this would really resonate throughout everything to like touch on Clark's point. But I think this kind of sets a precedent of if you do this, you're not on our team anymore. So I hope he sticks to that if it's next year's Bryce Young or whoever their fucking running back that's going to be first round ends up being, you know, that type of thing. So I hope he sticks to his guns and stays with this. And also, I hope this doesn't set a precedent just for Alabama. Hope it does for the rest of college football, rest of college athletics, that if you fuck up, you're off the team. Like, there are codes of conduct. And granted, they are college kids and they do make mistakes, but you have to be at this certain level to get this scholarship and get this NIL money. You're getting paid now. Act like a fucking adult.
Yeah. I mean, remember that last time, Joey, you accidentally went 141 miles per hour with a loaded gun in your car? Accidentally.
Oopsie.
I believe the last time I went over never mind. Trent was in the car with me last time I went over 100.
Don't incriminate yourself. Like, yeah.
No.
Okay.
Not going to.
Let's just say you were going over 100. You're being reckless, kind of goofy. We're even remotely close to 141.
117, whatever the governor
Ooh,
says. So.
Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed listening to Joey. He is officially suspended for next week's amateur hour. We're not going to condone this type of behavior. I don't care how long. I don't care about statute of limitations. You're done, Joey. You're done. Tom Lizzo is what your name says here.
There's no
I'm
no wrong place at the wrong time, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of gun did you have in the glove box? Oh,
He had a water gun.
I want to know.
I suspended myself for 3 seconds.
I want to know 141. That's moving in a car. You know, they don't make cars. A lot of cars that go. What was he driving?
Chevy Cruze.
Probably.
Oh, good.
Right. What have you gotten your cruise up to? If we're going to incriminate ourselves, what
I've ever
have
been
you
over
gotten
probably 80 in that thing. I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
I think once you get over 85, pieces of plastic start flying off the thing, and
You do
shaking like crazy.
You do realize 80 is the speed limit in South Dakota, right?
That's why I don't live there. I'm a good boy from Iowa.
Oh. I drove from Beaumont to Dallas, Texas today, all 5 hours.
Yeah.
Even their back roads, like through the trees and shit, 75. So cruise set on 80 all the way there. It was amazing. So fucking fun.
If they're anything like the back roads of Missouri, I'm surprised you're with us right now.
They're not. They're not like the backwoods of Missouri.
No, they're a little more flat. It's good.
Good. Well, Joey, you said you wanted to break down the wrestling tournament a little bit more, but I think we already did. We already talked about Spencer Lee and David Carr. I mean, what, were there more wrestlers or something?
Oh, yeah. Neither one of them even won a championship. So
No.
There's that. I will keep it short because we're going to try and keep it at a tight hour right here. But I went 4 of 10 picking my champions.
Nice.
Penn State ends up winning the damn thing. They only had 2 champions, though. RBY losing kind of makes me laugh/giggle because he was kind of talking shit to Spencer Lee earlier in the year for their duel, talking, hey, your 133 kind of sucks, move up, and blah, blah, blah. And neither one of them won a championship. So that's fine with me. But the Hodge Trophy will come out on Monday, gets voted. The final decision gets done on at 12 p.m. on Monday. So I think it should go to Yanni. He won 4. That's about all I got with this. I don't know. It was an exciting tournament. The tournament we have one of the most upsets of all time. But yeah, Carter Starochi, Aaron Brooks, Mason Paris, and Yanni were my 4 that I picked correctly. The rest were just kind of upsets, and it was fun to watch. I enjoyed watching.
Can't believe you picked the guy who won 3 times in a row to win his 4th one.
I know, right? Twice.
Making big upset alert here, Joey.
Wait, are you talking for the Hodge Trophy?
No, I was just talking about your champions that we have listed here.
Oh, yeah. I picked Spencer Lee. Yeah. I really thought they were going to both do it, and neither one, or Yanni did, but Spencer didn't. So there's that. But, it was a great tournament, and I hope next year's just as fun. Keegan O'Toole out of nowhere beats the fuck out of David Carr. That was awesome. I loved that. I talked about that on Monday. So if you want to hear more about the wrestling breakdown, listen to our Monday podcast.
There we go. Yeah.
Hodge
Joey,
Trophy's
of
going
course,
to
loved it
Hendrickson.
when an
by the way.
Iowa State person lost.
What'd you say, Clark?
I said the Hodge Trophy's going to Hendrickson.
For third place.
Hey, do you want to do a Hamilton bet? I will bet you $10 he doesn't win that Hodge Trophy.
100%. The only other person I even think comes close is going to be Keegan O'Toole for winning his second over Carr. And then I think third place should be Aaron Brooks or Carter Soroji, or they share it. But we'll see what happens.
You don't think Spencer Lee would be in the running for that, even though he only had the one upset?
Nope. You don't win a championship, you aren't in the Hodge Trophy running. It's national precedent. Unless you're like overcoming a massive injury. Like if Robles wouldn't have won after he lost his leg or whatever and got second, you could give that to him. But otherwise, no, it goes to the best. It's just like the Heisman.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a discussion for another time. We've probably already had it, but yeah, I always think it should literally just go to the best player, not the best player on the best team. I don't think team record should do anything with it, but
yep.
I mean, that's where this one kind of, I would assume is, does. I mean, what was, who did Yanni wrestle for? I apologize. I don't have it in front of me.
Cornell. And that's the other thing is the Ivy League won 3 national championships. 2 with Cornell and 1 with Princeton.
Yep. How many did Big Ten win?
Let me look. Damn it. I don't have it right offhand. 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 10.
In my eyes, Ivy League is the same as the Big Ten.
It's still, everything's better than the Big 12 because they only won 1.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Not everybody, because
Big
there's got to
10,
be a
baby.
conference
There
that
it
won
is.
0.
End of the podcast. See ya.
Oh. Well, I would say we'll be back next year, stronger than ever. Maybe. I don't know.
I really hope so.
Anything
I
else on
love
wrestling,
when
Joey?
Oklahoma. Yes, I love when Oklahoma State's a contender, and they weren't this year. I think they ended up 5th. Man, no, they're not even in the top 10. Never mind. They didn't end up with shit. But there are 2 Oklahoma State guys. Well, at least one for now. The Ferraris are coming to Iowa. I don't know how I feel about that.
I was just going to ask you what you felt on that, Joey.
I don't know yet. I'm still up in the air. I don't want to hold Anthony to what AJ did, but at the same time, he already has a couple priors coming into Iowa for other shit. So I don't know. I don't know what to feel about this.
I'm looking forward to the sideshow of his parents at the meets.
Yeah. I kind of wish Austin DeSanto was still here with his crazy ass parents and they could like yell at each other and fight. That was so fun at the Oklahoma State meets. Yeah. We'll
They could
see
have
what
a
happens.
crazy off.
Yeah. I mean, the Brands brothers, everyone knows how crazy they are. If you don't, watch their documentary on YouTube. It's very fucking good. But they're insane. So dealing with the Ferraris probably helps.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, and say anything else? Should we wrap it up?
Go K-State.
Okay, State.
Go
Well,
Wildcats.
They're in the Elite Eight. I'll give them that. I hate how much I like Jerome Tang. So
Yeah.
Good news is UCLA is up 40-31 on Gonzaga. So
there you go.
mm-hmm.
Crazy. Gonzaga plays their first real opponent all year, and all of a sudden they're not showing up.
Yep.
Who has
Blue
said
Bloods are winning.
Who has said that before?
Interesting. Us all last year.
And this year.
Drew Timme, he has 9 20-point games. It's the most in NCAA history. I guess if he gets the most in this game, he would be in sole possession of the most 20-point games in NCAA tournament history.
Asterisk, those were accrued over a decade-long period.
Perry Ellis fan there.
Joe, you want to hit him with the socials quick?
Yeah, hit me up at Mr. March, hashtag Tom Lizzo, if you want to get off on that shit. No,
Put an L on
it. Exactly. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, at Heartland Pulse. If you want to find us on Facebook and YouTube, just search Pulse of the Heartland. We are live every Monday and Wednesday, or every Monday and Thursday. And yeah, that's that.
The actual Mr. March on Twitter only has one tweet that says, "Hello, my name is Kirkchai. Nice to meet you."
Good for him.
There you go. Good on him. He got a hell of a good username.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But
Tom Lizzo.
Tom Lizzo. So alrighty. Well, we appreciate everyone listening. We'll catch you next week.